If we can't get something done right away, we have the means to create a plan to get that person into homeownership down the road.
Hi, welcome to the Realtors Conspiracy Podcast. I'm here today with Grant Morris, mortgage agent.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, where are you coming from?
So our primary office is located in Burlington,
Okay.
but we service clients all throughout Ontario.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
How long have you been a mortgage agent?
4.5 years now, something like that.
Okay.
So it's been a little while.
Yeah. What brought you to that real estate industry?
It's a good question. I actually used to work for Future Shop,
Okay.
and they closed their doors, so we all got laid off. And I just happened to have a connection through a connection. We had lunch, and it turned out to be a good fit.
Nice.
So yeah, completely unrelated field, but it worked.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So you're now a partner with John Merrill, which was on a podcast before,
Yes.
and you have a little networking group of partners that work together. So John
Correct.
talked about it a little bit, but tell us from the mortgage point of view.
So from a mortgage point of view, it's fantastic. So you are right. There's a partnership of four of us. We have myself doing mortgages. John is our realtor.
Okay.
And then we have a financial advisor and a lawyer.
Okay.
And the basic concept is that clients get next level service without having to have that kind of next level bank account, right? So clients really like the idea because it allows everybody to work together on their behalf. And if we can't get something done right away, we have the means to create a plan to get that person into homeownership down the road. So it's never quite like that client is lost. It's just, you know what, it's not going to be with the realtor or the mortgage agent for now. We're going to move it over to the financial advisor to help create a plan. And that kind of promotes some stickiness within the group, right?
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about the client walking away.
So the client can now have a structure and a goal in place so that they can move on to
Correct.
their... Very cool.
Yeah, it works out really, really well. And
Yeah.
the feedback from clients has been fantastic.
Yeah. What's the one thing that they say, why is it so great for them? Or
They like that they don't have to do any running around. And the four of us work really well together. So the clients really just like the idea that it's simple. We can all communicate and we all work on their behalf. It's not like one profession is competing with the other.
yeah.
So everyone's kept up to date. It's very smooth and seamless, and that's the feedback that we're getting. So
Cool. And when working with realtors, explain the relationship a little bit about the partnership. When you're working with a realtor, how does that work both ways, I guess?
So whenever I work with a realtor, I try and position that we are a team.
Yeah.
Regardless of the client, that initial email or phone call, I always try and let the client know that your realtor and your mortgage partner are a team and we work together. And most realtors, 90% of them, are really good at understanding that. But there are a few who seem to think that maybe the mortgage professional works for them as opposed to working with them. And I can tell you right now, it's not going to make for the best of relationships.
Yes.
Everyone will have a much better time if they understand that they are equal partners.
Yeah.
Because believe it or not, we want the file to close just as much as they do.
Yes.
Right? 'Cause we're commissioned as well, right?
Yeah.
So
from a realtor's point of view, what's the benefit of having one mortgage partner to deal with, a mortgage agent as a partner?
as much as I would love to say have one, I don't think that's realistic.
Okay.
But I think it is good to have multiple partners with strong relationships instead of many all over the place with a very thin relationship.
Okay. That's very
It's
clear.
ideally you want to get to a point where if your mortgage professional is saying, you know what, there's a reason we can't get this done, okay? We understand you're going to be upset. We're upset as well. Again, nobody's going to make any money, but leave it with us and let us get them to a point where they can so we can bring the client back to you. If you kind of treat your mortgage professional as, you know what, you couldn't get it done, I don't want to deal with you anymore.
Yeah.
You're only as good as your last sale. You're going to go through them pretty quickly. And it's just not going to make for the best experience.
Yeah. So real estate is always all about relationship. Now we find like a lot of realtors are saying to grow their business, they have to build relationships. So I guess for the mortgage agent is the same thing.
It's the exact same thing. I know of mortgage agents who will deal with any and every realtor, and I mean, that's fine. That's their business plan. And I'm never going to say no to a realtor requesting my help.
Yeah.
But ideally, you really want to focus on creating that core group of realtors or mortgage professionals that you really understand their workflow. And if you understand it, then it's going to make it easier to help your client understand it, so that nobody feels like we're just asking for things for the sake of asking for things.
Yeah. So. Do you have any examples of realtors that you've seen that since maybe they didn't know they were doing deals with every mortgage agent, and now that they've been with you, they grew their business, or they've been more successful?
There have been a few, but okay. I'd rather not name names.
Not name, but like examples, say like this agent saw a result, or...
Yeah, so there's been a few things. I'm sure that every realtor and every mortgage agent wants referrals. But one of the things that I do, and I would strongly consider, your realtors to ask and see what kind of referral programs are in place. I like to have a branching referral system.
Okay.
And essentially, the way that I would explain that is you're letting my book work for you, and essentially we're creating residual income throughout the years.
Yes.
So the idea is that we work with one client together. And whether it's one or two, it doesn't matter, but we get that initial client relationship built together. And from there, any file that results from that, we try and bring them all back down to that originating point of contact. So in this case, it would be the realtor.
Yes.
So while we worked on one together, over the years, it could be 3, 4, or 5 more files that come down just from that branch.
Okay.
Likewise, you start referring 2, 3, 4 clients, you have multiple branches all coming back down to you. So you're doing less prospecting, and then you're having more residual income. And we've helped a number of realtors in that regard, where they're starting to see the payoff with files going back to them.
Okay.
So
residual income for realtors would be, I'm a realtor, someone's a realtor, they bring a client to you, Sally. Sally does a deal. It closes. You might never hear from that realtor again, but Sally now referred her mom to you, and that's how the realtor might get residual income.
Correct. So if Sally's mom wanted to go out and buy a new property, or
refinance,
we found out they were selling their property,
okay.
First step, find out, do you have a realtor already? If not, fantastic. Let me bring you back to so-and-so, which helped so-and-so. I think you're going to really enjoy the experience.
Yeah, very good. That's a win-win for you, the mortgage agent, for the realtor, and for the clients.
Correct.
As well.
And it's a nice way for us to be able to say, thank you, we appreciate what you brought to us. Let's keep it going and bring it back to you.
Yeah. So, do you want to talk about your social media strategy, a little bit of your marketing?
My social media strategy is to kind of be different than everybody else, and I know that's probably really difficult to do
nowadays. Yes.
But whenever I think mortgage agent, mortgage broker, I just think of the stuffy old banker wearing a suit, and that's not what I want to be, and it's worked out very well for me.
Yeah.
So my social media strategy right now is really surrounding education.
Okay.
And bringing in my partners as much as I can. So a post that I make might not necessarily be talking about mortgages directly. It might be advice from a realtor as to how to utilize a walkthrough, or what things to look at when you're going through an open house. It might be from a car salesman advising, if you have kids on the way, make sure you bring the car seat when you're going car shopping. They don't always work.
Yeah.
So it's a great way to bring people in while providing education, and then increasing your engagement and audience. So education, not focused solely on your own profession.
On the own profession.
Yeah.
That's very good.
So,
do you have any other advice for realtors, stuff you've seen from experience?
I guess the big joke in the mortgage industry is, I am well aware that you're bringing a client to us that is a great person. Unfortunately, there is no check mark on the application to say great person. I can't fix their credit because they're a great person.
Yeah.
They really are, and we'd love to help them, but sometimes it takes a little bit of time to help somebody, and not immediately.
Yeah, and I like the fact that you have now that team that can create a structure in place to help anyone.
It's been a great process for everybody, and we have had people, we still actually do have clients that are on a 1-year plan with a financial advisor to save some money, get rid of some debt, And then in a year from now, they're going to come back and we'll start the process all over again. And they'll go right back to that originating realtor.
That's fantastic.
So it's great.
Yeah, very good. Where do we find you? What's your contact information?
All my social media is at It's Your Mortgage. So it's Instagram and Twitter.
Okay.
Facebook.com/itsyourmortgage.ca. I couldn't get the other one. Somebody took it. Other than that, phone is 905-510-0802 and email grant@itsyourmortgage.ca.
Awesome.
So, super easy.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for joining us on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Cool.